The Raptor name has made a space for itself in the off-road community. Well, they've had the F-150 Raptor, the Bronco Raptor, and now we have the Ranger Raptor. What is the Ranger Raptor? Well, the Ranger is the second smallest truck they make, the Maverick being the smallest, and now it has Raptor credentials, which means it's the most off-road ready version of the Ranger ever made. Welcome everybody then to the 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor, and yes, that also means we finally have a Raptor on the channel. And what better place to explore it than in the open wild countryside. Let's see how this wild off-road truck is. When you come to the front end of the Ranger Raptor, you'll notice that this has the refreshed look that all Rangers get for 2025, which means this has the new C-shaped lights and the DRLs are embedded onto it. I think it's a very smart look and it makes it resemble much more closer to an F-150. I think this is the best looking Ranger they've ever made. Being a Raptor, you do have lots of enhancements, and as I said, I think the Ranger Raptor is the best looking Ranger in the whole lineup because of all the aggressive bits this has. The aggressive bits also include the grille. Well, it has massive Ford lettering, which is a Raptor trademark. Does not have the marker lights because as per Canadian laws, the vehicle has to be wider than a certain width to have those marker lights. You do get marker lights on the bumper, but not the typical Ranger, not the typical Raptor ones that the F-150 and the Bronco have. The big Ford grille is very nice. You do have bulges on the bonnet, obviously to accommodate the bigger powertrain, and you do have some sort of fake plastic vents. They're not actually vents, but they are made to look like vents on the bonnet, and I don't like that too much, but I get it why companies do that because they want to let out that aggressive appeal. You do have metal bumpers as well. You do have some sort of faux aluminum sort of plastic on the cladding on the bottom. Again, this is like a bash plate, so it protects the internals of the car. Overall, I think it looks very aggressive. I think this is what a Raptor should look like all the time, and I'm very glad that Ford passed on the Raptor credentials to the baby Ranger as well. I think the Ranger always needed this kind of aggression. I think it looks fantastically well from the front. When you come to the side, after adoring the super aggressive front end of the Ranger Raptor, you'll notice that the real Raptor hardware is visible from the side. How? Well, the first thing that will catch your eye are these overly flared fenders. And yes, this does make the Ranger quite wide when you're trying to drive it in tight spaces. But in trails like this, it's perfectly fine. And yes, you do have plastic cladding, so you don't have to worry to scratch the paint. Also, this has metal side steps because when you're on a trail, the last thing you want is your side step to hold you back, maybe affect your ground clearance. So these are metal and very abuse friendly. Also, this has 285 section BF Goodrich K03s, super thick sidewall as you can see, and it has 17-inch beadlock wheels as well, which means it's off-road ready. Also, what helps the stance are these Fox shocks, which only the Ranger Raptor has in the whole Ranger lineup, and I think it raises the truck just to the right height, which makes it have a very, very imposing stance. You also have wider fenders on the rear, and you do have the graphics on the fender, which is an optional extra, but I feel like that's an option that every Raptor owner should just get it by default because I like that graphic. I think it breaks the monotony and gives a bit of that little Raptor vibe that the older Raptors used to have. There's a Raptor lettering, that's standard, but the graphics extra, I think that's something I would pick any day of the week. Also, this paint, Azure Grey. I mean, I like the traditional Raptor colors, you know, the F-150 and others, they have the bright orange and the red, especially the Bronco Raptor as well. I particularly like that color a lot. That's the true Raptor color, but this has also been pretty nice to live with. I feel it's very maintenance free. I've been driving it in rain, but this paint hasn't really caught on a lot of dust. It is slightly a bit dirty, but I have been driving in trails, so I can kind of forgive that. Otherwise, it's actually not that bad. And this being a Ranger Raptor, this only has a 5-foot bed. You cannot get it in an extended bed or a 2-door version. So this is the only body style that you can actually buy the Ranger Raptor. What can I say? I think it has the business end on the side. You can see lots of cool hardware that shows that this is a true-blooded Raptor. When you come to the rear of the Ranger Raptor, you'll notice that this has the 5-foot bed, and yes, the tail lights have also been updated for 2025. Lots of LED cool units, and I think it looks really, really good. You do have the Ranger badging and the huge Raptor badging, which I'm a huge fan of, because personally, if I had this vehicle, I'd want as many people on the road to know that yes, I did go the extra mile to pick up the most aggressive version of the Ranger, which is the Raptor. Since this has the 3-liter EcoBoost, you do get twin pipes as well, so one pipe on each side. And yes, being a Raptor, it is loud, but more on that later. This does also get metal bumpers, which means you do not have side steps to get onto the bed, which is decently sized, so you can open it and it is damped, so it does not just fall open, which is very nice. But yes, you do get access to the bed. You can get optional bed lining, which this truck does not have, and it does look a bit too bare and raw in my opinion, so a bed liner is definitely very much need of the hour. You do have sockets as well on this side of the bed, so you do have a 12-volt socket, and you do have a proper 3-prong plug as well to use your equipment. Being a Ford truck, you do also have a ruler embedded onto the tailgate, so just in case you decide to do some work with your Ranger Raptor, you'll know exact measurements based on the tailgate ruler. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty cool rear end, pretty functional, not too crazy, and well, a truck doesn't have to be, right? So this has all the right elements to make it stand out on the road, and it's also a truck, so it still retains the practicality bit while looking funky. Good job, Ford. I'm now on the inside of the Ranger Raptor. As you can see, it's a very traditional Ford interior, which is no bad thing. There's a new updated screen, which is now also very similar to the one you'll find on the Mach-E and even the F-150 Lightning and the like. So it's a vertical screen, 12-inch here, and you also have a horizontal 12-inch for the digital cluster gauge, which is customizable in a lot of ways. This is a nice screen. Touch response isn't too bad. No complaints as such. You do also have wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, which is again a nice thing. You do have physical buttons for the HVAC, which is again a bonus. Yes, you can control it from the screen for the temperature, the fan speed and stuff like that. But because this is a truck, I like that Ford has also included physical buttons, even for the volume knob. So you don't have to take your eyes off the road if you do want to change your temperature, which is the case in lots of other modern cars. So I love the perfect blend of modern screen yet with old school HVAC controls. You do have a wireless charger and some storage below the screen, vertical vents, and yes, since this is the Raptor, you do have lots of red elements. So you do have red elements around the AC vents, which are supremely vertical, and the dash is actually quite vertical. You do have lots of Alcantara suede on the touch points, which is very, very nice, and I think kudos to Ford for including small touches like that. You do have small sort of weaves of carbon fiber-ish around the dash, which is nice. And yes, this also does have a dual storage, so you have one storage above and one storage below. Seats also have lots of red accents because hey, it is a Raptor, right? So remember code red. This truck has lots of elements. You do have side bolsters which are red. You have Raptor embedded onto the seat, which is also red, and you have some red elements around the headrest as well. You do have some Alcantara and red elements on the bottom of the seat as well, which I really appreciate. It breaks the monotony, and it does make sure that this Ranger is the special one, not the regular run-of-the-mill Ranger. What also makes it special is this three-spoke steering, which is very chunky, very nice, lots of nice feel to it, red stitching, perforated leather, and yes, you do have the traditional Raptor badging in the traditional font that all Raptors have it. You do have buttons for the adaptive cruise, the volume, and yes, you do have buttons to adjust the steering feel, damper feel, and exhaust. And you also have the button for the R mode, which is such a bonus. What also makes it cool are these magnesium paddle shifters, which feel very, very nice. They have a nice click to it, and they lend a lot of feel-good factor to the interior. What can I say? Overall, I really like the whole ambience of the Ranger Raptor. As you have the same suede here as well. Small things like this really, really uplift the experience. Also, you do have sort of weird door handles on the doors. You don't have traditional pulling one, but it's actually sort of like a pull inside the handle, which is pretty cool. One downer for me at this price point is that the lack of a sunroof. I get it, not all Raptors have sunroofs, but I wish at 80,000 or 85,000 that this truck is priced at, a small little sunroof would have brought in a lot of light, especially to this black interior. You also don't have grab handles for the driver. You only have a grab handle to climb in for the passenger. As a driver, I also need it. I'm not the tallest guy or the fittest guy, so a grab handle goes a long way. I need to use the steering to pull myself inside. What also complements the whole experience is this B&O sound system. I think it sounds really good. It's got the right bass, it's got the nice treble. So overall driving experience is actually very nice of the Ranger Raptor. Overall, it's a job well done, and I like the updates that Ford has brought to the overall Ranger lineup, and it just makes this truck feel much more relevant, much more cooler, and just feels more worthy of the price tag. I'm now in the rear seat of the Ranger Raptor. As you can see, space is really not an issue. The seat is also carved out for more knee room, and my knees are nowhere near the seat. This is for my driving position, and I'm 5'8". Lots of space to tuck in my feet as well. Headroom is also really not an issue as well for me. Overall width of the seat is also not bad. The seat backrest is a bit too upright for my liking. Under thigh support could have been slightly better as well. Windows are decently big but very heavily tinted. So because the lack of a sunroof, and if you close the windows, it does get a bit too dark for my liking. It's actually darker in the back than it is in the front, but that's understandable. You do have glass in the back as well, and you do have this small panel which is electronically controlled from up front. You do have a center armrest as well if you don't want to have a third passenger. The third passenger is decently welcome. The floor hump isn't too big. There's also a third headrest and a third seat belt as well for the middle passenger if you decide to have one. No AC vents in the back, no AC control. You do have the storage here, and you do have a proper plug point with some USB ports to charge your devices. You do have seat back pockets to accommodate small stuff. But yeah, overall, it's not that bad. It is a bit too Spartan, but I get it. The trucks are like this these days, and the Raptor is mostly meant to drive and have fun. So yes, this does have rear seats. It's not the most fancy, but I get it. The seats also still have the same leather, red accents, and some Alcantara suede on the bottom part to make it feel that much more special. But yeah, not too bad. I get it. This does have a decent back seat. Could have been better, but this truck is all about getting in the driving seat and just bashing this vehicle through rough terrain. I'm now behind the wheel of the 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. So let's get the numbers out of the way. This has a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, produces about 400 horsepower. Is the EcoBoost engine, but I feel like there is nothing eco about it. It's only the boost, or maybe EcoBeast, if I can say that. It's a very punchy motor. This does weigh about the 2.4 ton mark. So, I mean, it is a body on frame truck. So that does make sense. It also has a 10-speed automatic gearbox. So let's see how this truck drives. This very weird shifter, put it into drive, and you set off. And I am right now in the normal mode. There are lots of drive modes through this mode. You have, you know, how in the Bronco it's called the GOAT mode. So this is just different drive modes, and you can toggle through them. So I am in normal right now, and it's decently comfortable, decently nice. I can put it into sport, tow haul, slippery, or if I go back, then there is off-road, Baja, and rock crawl. So I've been driving it mostly in normal, and also there is this R mode, which is like an individual mode. So in the R mode, what has been set is what I have personally set is the suspension in sport, the steering in sport, because in the sporty suspension of the suspension, there is less rebound, it's stiffer, so it's good for on-road usage. There's less bounciness. The steering also weighs up reasonably well in sport mode, so it feels very nice, very weighty, got lots of feedback, typical Ford steering wheel, which I like a lot. But the exhaust is in Baja mode, so in comfort and sport, the exhaust you can actually toggle through the steering, and it's actually amazing. So if I put it back into quiet mode, it's so quiet. If I put it into normal, you can hear it, not quite as much. If I put it into sport mode, I hope the mic captures it. If I put it into sport, it's noticeably louder. But if I put it into Baja mode, it's the loudest it is. And it says only for off-road use, but I've been using it on the road and getting away with it. Honestly, it sounds so good. You do have paddles as well, so you can always flicker through the paddles, but this gearbox is always in a gear higher, so you always have to play around with the gears. But overall, on-road dynamics is actually really good. I really like the way this truck drives, even though this has proper all-terrain tires. Yes, in the slightly damp roads, it does get a bit twirly, especially in the two-wheel drive mode, which I've been driving this truck mostly on. But otherwise, it's actually like, see, I'm in 6th gear. It automatically goes in 6th, and I have to downshift and I have to turn things. Oh, yep. I can feel the tail sliding out a bit, but I can now officially put it into Baja mode, and that turns off the traction am being thrown around. But the seats are so good, so comfortable. You have lots of bolstering support, and this vehicle is flying through this trail. It's honestly such a joy to drive this vehicle. It's so much fun. This is what it's doing at its best. You know, if anyone has a doubt that this is not a true Raptor because it's a baby Raptor, I don't believe that. This is supremely capable off-road. You do have diff locks, front diffs, rear diffs. The tires are so good. You do it because of the traction control management, because of the terrain response. It's so capable. Fuel economy isn't the best because you drive like this, hooligan, and even though in traffic it's really it's a V6, but it almost has V8 fuel economy. I've been getting 18-19 liters per 100 in the city and about 13-14 liters on the highway, which is horrendous to say the least for a V6, but I guess it is a price to pay for all the hooliganism and all the capabilities you get with this truck. But yeah, overall it's so fun. The brakes are nice, the pedal feel is so good. Overall it's such a fun truck. It's probably the most fun I've had in a truck in a very long time. Kudos to Ford for bringing the Raptor capabilities to the Ranger platform. It's just perfect. Small dimensions as well. It's not overly big to drive in city and traffic. You have the small dimensions, the power, the noise, the feel, the suspension. It's honestly, it's a very good package. Very good package, and a complete one. And it has to be at the price point that it's sold at, but it's actually really good. In conclusion then, the 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. Well, it's my first time driving the Ranger platform, and to test it out on its flagship, the Raptor, well, I think it's a great opportunity to understand what this vehicle can truly do. I've driven this vehicle on highways, on trails, and honestly, this vehicle can do it all. In fact, if you drive it fast or if you drive it in a bit of rage on tarmac as well, the truck is so composed, and on the trail, if you just put it into the Baja mode and let the electronics handle everything, this vehicle can conquer most, if not all, obstacles that you can possibly throw at it. It's decently comfortable, it's decently spacious, it's got all the necessary tech, and I think it looks supremely fabulous. Maybe the best looking truck on sale right now in its segment. At around $84,000 Canadian for this very truck. It does have some options, like I mentioned, the graphics on the bed, this paint, this wheels, and a few more options here and there add up to about 84,000. Now, that's definitely very steep, but is there really anything else that goes up directly against this truck? Well, there are some other options like the GMC Canyon 84X and the Colorado ZR2 Trail Boss and the Tundra, Tacoma, whatever it's called. But there's none of them are as quick. None of them are as tech laden for the off-road world. So I feel like this truck is in a segment of its own, and that's why I feel like it's one of the perfect one vehicle garage. It can literally do it all. I mean, I never expected to be so heavily impressed by this, and I wish I had the money, because if I did, I want to really buy one and keep one in my garage.